Hi everybody. In our last video we created quite a detailed schedule of accounts receivable by territory and by customer. I forgot to tell you how to name that schedule. Please call the worksheet that we created in the last video past due by territory. And that means that your assignment is building to the right, starting with data at the far left. To the right of that is sales by customer, then top 3 customers, then aging of receivables, and then past due by territory. And now in this video, we're going to create a new pivot table. Let's go back to the data worksheet and create a new pivot table. You know how to do that. Create a new pivot table on a new worksheet. The purpose of this pivot table is to show accounts receivable by customer in each territory. And we want the territories in rows, and we want the customers horizontally across in columns. So let's select what we need. We definitely need territories. We need customer name. And we need the amount invoiced. And this is a case where Excel doesn't really know what we're trying to do. It's given us everything we asked for, but it's pretty meaningless and not at all useful. Doesn't mean that the information here is wrong. What is incorrect is the way we have it presented. Very easy fix. In the very first video of this series, I said that you should not be afraid to move the elements from one box to another. And in this case, we're trying to get both sales territory and customer name to show up in rows, which is not working well. So let's leave the sales territory in the rows and move the customer name to columns. Just drag it up there to columns. Oh, what a difference that makes. Now we have a schedule that we can work with. We can make it better, but it's a pretty good schedule as it is right now. The first thing I'm going to do is make it bigger on the page. I have to squint my eyes to see that little tiny presentation. So I'm coming over to the scale on the bottom right side of the Excel worksheet, and I'm going to click on it till I get it up to about 140%. Which makes it a lot easier to read. A few moments ago, I noticed that there were some strange numbers kind of in the middle of the worksheet and in some of these totals, grand totals down here. And all I did was take the customer name, move it back down to rows, and then move it back up to columns, and it fixed itself. So if you have that problem, just move the customer name back and forth, move it over to filters, move it back over to columns until it fixes itself. To be consistent with our other presentations, let's go ahead and change the font to Arial 12. Instead of sum of amount invoiced, let's make this amount invoiced and see if while we're in that area, we can go ahead and change the font to the number font. Right click, value field settings, change the name to amount invoiced, and remember, if it argues with you, just put a space in front of amount invoiced. number format, number, no decimals, use the comma. Oops, it did argue with me, so all I'm going to do is say amount invoiced, a little space in front of that, space, and now say OK. Oh, we got it all fixed at the same time. Let's do some sorting. In this drop-down arrow next to row labels, let's choose more sort options, and let's sort low to high by sales territory. So ascending, low to high, by sales territory. OK. And let's sort the column labels, more sort options, descending from high to low on amount invoiced. There we go. That's a pretty good schedule. Let's go ahead and change the name of our sheet, our worksheet. Let's call it Sales by Territory. And drag it sometimes it doesn't want to be dragged. There we go. Drag it to the right of Past Due by Territory. So now the order is Data, Sales by Customer, Top 3 Customers, Aging of Receivables, Past Due by Territory, and Sales by Territory. Well, that's all for this video. When we come back, we're going to have some fun creating a pivot chart. See you next time.